Our next speaker is Karoline Dygas. Karoline is the Vice President of Global Sourcing and Store Development at Starbucks. She's part of Starbucks' global supply chain leadership team and is accountable for sourcing all capital and commercial equipment. I don't know what FFE is. You can tell us. I don't know what R&M is, but I know what QA is, as well as leading the global end-to-end supply chain. She was gracious enough to finish our Krannert Executive Forum talk and hop on over and give us this talk here. We'll follow the format of we'll let Karoline give her talk, and then Faith and Karoline and I will have time to take your Q&A. So Karoline,
thank you.
Take it away. Let me move the slide to there. Okay, thank you.
Of course. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm Karoline Dygas. I'm a Vice President of Global Supply Chain at Starbucks. I've been there for almost 5 years, but most importantly, I'm a Purdue alumni. Woohoo! I graduated with a Bachelor of Science of Mechanical Engineering, and I also got my MBA at the Krannert Business School. So it's an honor to be back at Purdue. I haven't been back here in over 8 years. I got a chance yesterday to tour the campus, and my gosh, it has changed drastically. So all of you that are students at Purdue, this place looks really awesome. But one thing I noticed, and if you're a student, who's a student at Purdue? So I have a kind of a gauge. Awesome, a lot of you. You know what the funny thing is that has not changed in the 20 years that I've been here? Stewart Center smells the same. It's not a bad smell. But I don't know what it is in that building, but I walked in that building yesterday and I was just hit by this like, wow, am I back in time? It was amazing. So enjoy your time here. Like I mentioned, I had an opportunity to spend the morning with graduate and undergraduate students at Krannert Business School. They asked me a whole bunch of questions, so my voice is a little bit iffy, so if I lose it, just please bear with me. But let's get started. Today, I would really like to talk to you about ethical sourcing and the ethical sourcing program at Starbucks specifically. So let's set the platform first. In order to truly understand ethical sourcing and why it's important at Starbucks, we need to start with the mission and values of Starbucks. So the mission of Starbucks is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. This mission really permeates through everything that we do at Starbucks, including our ethical sourcing and everything that we do in our supply chain. So within Starbucks, we truly have an ability to use our scale for good. Starbucks has over 28,000 store locations in 78 countries, serving over 100 million customers per week. That is a lot of people and a lot of environments and communities that we touch. Not to mention our 330,000 baristas and partners around the world that really live the mission and values of what Starbucks stands for. So why is ethical sourcing important? Faith did a really good job articulating American Excellence, what ethical sourcing and ethical supply chain is there. And I'm sure you've heard other presentations that I unfortunately missed because I was occupied. But ethical sourcing is something that is absolutely mission critical to everybody in supply chain. At Starbucks, we really believe that we have an obligation to help the communities, the customers, and ultimately the planet. We have a view that we are performance driven through the lens of humanity, and we have an ability to make a change in the world. So ethical sourcing is really an integrated approach within the company. Everybody has a responsibility to support our ethical sourcing goals. Whether you're in supply chain or a barista at the store or working in our manufacturing facilities or in our distribution centers, it is important that everybody understands what ethical sourcing is and why it's so important. Although primarily the entire work and the programs are driven by supply chain or by our global social responsibility team or our coffee buying group in Switzerland, everybody has a responsibility. Because ultimately, we know that our success as a company is very linked to the successes of the farmers and the suppliers that we work with. We really focus on all of those areas, whether it's coffee, whether it's cocoa, whether it's tea, or manufactured goods. We expect to have solid and robust ethical sourcing practices in all of those areas of spend. We also want to help various industries to also make a positive commitment to the planet and the people in it. If you think about the program, like I mentioned, the program really focuses on people, the planet, animals, and really helps to build brand loyalty. So if you're a customer, thank you. And really highlights the mission and values of the organization and everything we stand for. It's rooted in really the basic principles that I'll touch upon in detail of transparency, of shared responsibilities, of continuous improvement mindset, and ultimately influence within our own industries as well as others. Transparency is key. It is one of the most critical attributes in assessing economical, social, and environmental performance of, which include working conditions, hours worked, wages, health and safety. It's really, really important to have very, very clear transparency of practices in those areas by our suppliers. It's an integrated approach. It's not just one-sided. Starbucks has as much responsibility as our suppliers, as much as our responsibilities at the factories that actually make the product or the farms where the product is sourced from. It has to be really all connected because everybody has a piece of the puzzle. The continuous improvement is, I think, the biggest critical component of it because not everybody's perfect the first time. We have to allow people the opportunity to get better and improve and evolve. Ultimately, the programs that we have are structured in such a way that even the supplier might get a bad score initially. Once we work with them, once we provide them the training, and once they demonstrate commitment to improving, they're able to actually increase their ranking in the program, provided they do the right things. Because ultimately, a program is only as good as if it actually makes an impact to the people affected by it. And finally, we definitely want to be at the forefront of industry and really want to help be the guiding light and bring people along as needed to make the right decisions and the right commitments. One thing the program is not, it's not a policing program. We do not police it. We expect everybody to really have mutual trust in the program and to really believe in what the program is trying to do. And also, it's not an academic program. Like I mentioned, it's an ethical sourcing team is not just a team somewhere off in the corner in the basement. It is actually integrated directly into our sourcing organization, and it is it creates a lot of communication in the rest of the enterprise to make sure every single team in the building understands why it's so critical and why it's so important for Starbucks and its suppliers to be the very best. If you think about manufacturing goods, we really established a program that allows really strong partnerships with our supplier partners. It allows for really long-term value creation by having somebody that shares your mission and values and believes in the same things that you do. We also have a third-party verification program where down to the factories that manufacture the goods, we have full assessments of the standards, how they promote social, economic, and environmental standards, how they've improved over time, and to make sure that we can identify those challenges or areas of opportunity that we know they can get better at. They just need some sort of motivation, sometimes training. We have a lot of e-learning platforms. So there's a lot of self-assessments. Like Faith mentioned, they have self-assessments at their company. We also have self-assessments where any supplier can put themselves through the self-assessment. We've actually recently assessed our own manufacturing facilities. And of course, there's always room for improvement everywhere. Because it's so important to allow people to just do some things at their own pace, but give them the tools and resources to go after. We also have field-level partners that actually work directly with the factories, specifically in China, who are kind of the boots on the ground where a factory that we might source from has direct connections with an expert that can help guide them on their journey of ethical sourcing. And finally, we have a lot of local economic and social development programs that go just above and beyond the workers at the factories, but also the communities where those workers come from. So very, very proud of that. I do want to take us on a deeper dive of coffee. As you're aware, coffee is the second largest commodity traded in the world after crude oil. It is also the second most consumed beverage after tea and water. So it has a giant impact to a lot of economies, specifically in developing countries, because coffee grows only around the equator in sometimes very, very challenging environments, typically on cliff sides with very, very hard to get to locations. And if you're a customer of Starbucks, thank you. You are actually making a very positive impact to a lot of people that normally would not have access sometimes to medical or educational or even clean water. And by being a customer of Starbucks, you allow Starbucks to help those areas and those people really better their everyday life. So if you think about coffee, we've really taken a four-prong approach to ethical sourcing of coffee. We have cafe practices, we have the Global Farmer Fund, farmer support centers, and the 100 Million Coffee Tree Initiative. And I'll go in detail to all of those because they're pretty amazing. So the cornerstone of the program is cafe practices, which stands for coffee. I have to read this one because it's a complicated name. Coffee and Farmer Equity Practices. It's a comprehensive coffee buying program that ensures the highest quality coffees while promoting social, economic, and environmental standards. So cafe practices was a collaborative effort between Starbucks and Conservation International over 20 years ago. And this program has really grown. We're actually applying this program to cocoa as well. And we have a separate initiative focused on tea specifically and the special unique needs of the tea industry. The program really focuses on working with cooperatives, with farms of all size. So even if it's just a small farmer with just a hectare of coffee, we still work with them to make sure that they have the right tools and support needed for them to maximize the yield and grow their coffees in the most sustainable way possible. We work with producers, mills, as well as support organizations that are measured on their comprehensive environmental and social criteria that's developed in partnership with Conservation International. It's actually a giant questionnaire that they have to go through and really assess how they are growing their coffee. It focuses once again on continuous improvement. That is a key theme in ethical sourcing. You're only as good as you were yesterday, but you always have to get better. And finally, it's also independently verified. We want to make sure that we have a third party that assesses how the farmers are performing. So that's not just Starbucks saying that they're ethical, that somebody else is really keeping an eye on it. The Global Farmer Fund is another very interesting prong of our ethical sourcing and coffee approach. The Global Farmer Fund really is a credit program that allows farmers that cannot get traditional funding to receive funding. As you know, farming is a complicated business, and sometimes they don't have the cash flow necessary to really support the farm. So with this initiative, we really allow them to really get credit and funding and support their cash flows when they have those times of need. In addition, it also includes a social development project where we go and work with those sometimes hard to get to locations to support them with building schools and building medical facilities, getting them water, getting infrastructures in place to really allow communities to thrive and grow. And Starbucks has made a commitment to increase this fund to over $50 million by 2020. And we're right on the way. The next one is farmer support centers. So we've established farmer support centers in various parts of the world where it's a coffee growing regions. We have support centers in Costa Rica, in Rwanda, in Tanzania, Colombia, China. And these are really places where our agronomists meet directly with the farmer and help collaborate on responsible growing practices, on health of coffee trees, on really helping them have maximize the yields from their harvests, and provide really information to really help the industry thrive. Most recently, we actually also purchased a farm in Costa Rica called Hacienda Alsacia. It's a 600-acre farm that's actually open to the public. So if you're in Costa Rica, please visit. It has a beautiful visitor center, and you actually get to go on a journey from how the coffee is planted to how it ends up in your cup. It's truly remarkable. Highly recommended if you're ever in Costa Rica. But the whole focus of the Farmer Support Center, which we share the information freely with anybody that's in the coffee industry, it's open to our competitors, because we really want to make sure that coffee is one of the main sustainable agricultural products there is. And ultimately, the last initiative is a 100 million coffee tree initiative. This actually started a couple years ago as a one tree for every bag program. And it was actually with the help of customers, if you're a customer. Basically what we've done is we've donated or are donating coffee trees to farmers to really help them combat coffee rust, which is a fungus that impacts coffee trees and really just deteriorates them and no longer allows the coffee to be really grown. So we're donating 1 million coffee trees. That is the goal for Starbucks. We want to donate those by 2025. To date, we've donated over 30 million trees, which is amazing. It really has helped a lot of farmers that have been suffering from this fungus to really replenish their crops. So it's fantastic. I'm going to check the time, making sure we're doing okay. We're doing okay? All right. Well, I think overall, the most important thing to understand is ethical sourcing, and the way we approach it is so much more than what Starbucks contributes. All of you as customers contribute to the ethical sourcing, and you individually contribute to the successes that the farmers that grow the coffee are able to have a way of living. Coffee is extremely hard to grow, and like I mentioned, in very, very challenging environments. And it is through you supporting the industry that those farmers are allowed to have livelihood. But I want to show you actually a video, because I always am a big believer that pictures are worth more than words. So I will stop talking, give my voice a break, and we can watch a video if that's okay.
How does it feel to change the world? To end your day knowing you did good. That you're helping save forests, making water cleaner, and reducing carbon emissions. Does your family know you help create jobs for people around the world? They would be proud. Do your friends know you plant trees and support farms owned by women? You improve working environments for farmers and help their kids go to school. You do, by sharing coffee. Because Starbucks and Conservation International have spent the last 2 decades helping protect nature and improve the lives of farmers. Today, we continue our work to make coffee the world's first sustainable agricultural product, and you're the one that helps make it all happen. So thank you for the world we're changing. The future of coffee relies on you, 1 cup at a time.
With that, Thank you for your time today. Really looking forward to the Q&A. Happy to answer any and all questions. Thank you.